Hi, I'm Kristen Thomas, and today I will be talking about the importance of color-conscious casting. So first, I will show my note cards. And now I will pan the room. It's my roommate, he's watching. Do you see I have my presentational aids? All right, room is panned. So, I want everyone to close their eyes and picture your favorite TV show or favorite movie. Now, are there any people of color in this show? If so, how are they represented? Are they leading characters, or are they stereotyped or relegated to the sideline or best friend characters? Until very recently, most BIPOC actors, which is Black, Indigenous, or people of color, were relegated to secondary roles in the media. This led to the emergence of colorblind casting in an attempt to rectify this problem. But, and I'll explain later, this didn't quite work. Today, I will teach you about color-conscious casting and why it's advantageous for the actor. So, colorblind casting is when casting directors choose roles by ignoring the ethnicity of the character. This aims to remove race from the equation, and gives people of color a chance to play traditionally white roles. So an example of very famous and well-done colorblind casting would be Hamilton, or Shakespeare plays that include actors of all color in the roles, although all of these characters were meant to be white characters originally. So, why is this a problem? Well, it is impossible to be truly colorblind. This is because race is intrinsic in our society. Every time we see a person of color, we have a subconscious message that's sent to our brains that informs how we view this person. So it is not possible for us to act like everyone is on the same playing field when it comes to race. Another reason why colorblind casting isn't the best is because race is not necessarily a bad thing, and people of color have cultural differences and experiences, and colorblind casting can diminish the value that a person of color brings to the table. A great quote about why colorblind casting does not work so well is from Sanal Desai. Colorblind casting denies the person standing in front of you. It ignores identity, and for people of color, that further alienates us. So, what do we do then? Well, glad you asked. This leads us to color-conscious casting. So color-conscious casting is different because it asks directors to acknowledge and highlight that BIPOC actors are different, and it asks us to think about how putting an actor of color in the role will change the meaning of the show overall. So a great quote is, "Color-conscious casting means that we are aware of the historic discriminations in the entertainment industry and aware of what it means to be a person of color and to put a body of color on stage." So this is from American Theater Magazine. So, this is examples of all white shows. Now, this is another show that does have nice color-conscious casting, but let's think about this example. So we all know the show Dexter. The premise of Dexter is he is a serial killer who kills other serial killers by using his job in the police force. Now, think about if Dexter were cast by a black man, or cast as a black man or a person of color. How would this change the role? One, we would have an overt, aggressive, stereotypical view of a black male or a male of color by having Dexter in such an aggressive role. And it is also very likely that Dexter's job at the police force and his way of getting out of trouble would not be so easy for a person of color. So, in conclusion, color-conscious casting asks us to acknowledge that people of color can alter the meaning of the story and ask, is this a positive or a negative form of representation? So now I want to show you some examples of how color-conscious casting can work successfully. These are all popular shows in film that are in the media right now that portray people of color in a great light that is not determined solely based on their race or a stereotypical standing. So, is this still working? Is Hollywood struggling? As you can see, we're not there yet, but it is getting a lot better. Right now, Hollywood has an aim and a push to acknowledge the value of representation and the monetary value that having a diverse cast can bring. So it's still a work in progress, but it's getting a lot better right now. So, in review, there is a long way to go on the road of having diverse, equality, and great representation in our media, but the road is beginning to be paved. Through color-conscious and not colorblind casting, we can find a way to appropriately represent all people in the media, which is what the entertainment industry is really looking to do. So, thank you so much, and that is my presentation.